Welcome to Opening Bell Crypto. Market just barely opened. Market just barely opened. Let's see what. Let me check over on X. Make sure we're working good and everyone can hear me. Let's see what. Let me check over on X. Throw a little GM. Get the chat started here. Anyway, yeah, welcome today. We're, as you see, of course, we're dealing with, the ongoing war, oil crisis, now turned into a fertilizer crisis. And, we got them bombs getting planted in the Straits of Hormuz, underground bombs. Had the CPI pretty flat. And right now we have, as you can see, we were up about a third of a point, a little more than a third now on the NASDAQ. It was looking open negative and then pretty flat and going back and forth, to be honest with you. And it actually opened up and it's getting a little momentum. Also had a nice little spike in Bitcoin and stuff. Dow Jones about flat, S&P up 0.19, and we're, like I say, about a third here on the NASDAQ. Looking over at crypto here, we've had a nice little pump. Let's look at the hourly here. So you can see this, looking at the hourly chart, we're back over 70,000, 70,543 to be exact. And we're up half a percent point for the day. We were in the little down 1.7%. So 1.5% pump there for Bitcoin. Loving that. Like see that kind of a little bit, even the TradFi market. So Ethereum 7, and same thing. We were down teetering on 2,000, now we're 2,057, up 0.8 for the day, 1.4 for the hour. Take a look at XRP, $1.40.4 cents, up 0.9% for the day and 1.7% just now. So nice little pump for XRP. So my largest holding, my favorite layer one right now, to be honest with you. GM, welcome everyone to listen to me live on X and over on YouTube and possibly even Rumble. Yeah, $86.84, up 0.3 for the day, 2% pop just now with the market opening. And as you look here, you can see with some kite, DCA into a little kite. But hype up 0.3, Tau, BitTens are up 0.3, ICP 10.6%. Looks like the biggest gainer. Render 6.1. Fetch AI, one of my other holdings I've been talking about for about 2-3 years now, at least 2 years. An AI play, and it is up 9.7. Avalanche, man, I'll tell you, back in the day, for those, I've been here 15 years, and I'll tell you, back in the day, maybe a lot of you here even remember, AVAX and Solana were head to head like two racehorses, right? And that's changed. What's Cyrene, which I don't know much about, up 5.6. I believe that's the stable coin. Might be. I need to look a little more into it. Yeah, everything looking fairly good, right? Jupiter down a little bit for some. Atom making a little bit of a comeback. Used to developers who love them and just kind of fell off, but it's coming back a little. Anyway, yeah, I'll take this. Let's look back one more look at the Bitcoin thing, and then we'll look at the hourly chart here. Yeah, holding strong, man. Still gaining a little. 70,653. I'll take that on a Wednesday morning. I'll take that. Actually turned out a little better than I was anticipating. So what do we got driving the market? Shocking. It's the war and the oil. So, Trump came out. A couple days ago, 2 days ago, did his speech. I think it was that must have been Monday, and was pretty optimistic. We've been making good progress. We talked a lot yesterday about it, but then they came out, and it wasn't even them coming out so much. I think it was U.S. intelligence reports that they were starting to mine the Straits of Hormuz with these underground landmines that look actually quite a bit like this. So they basically chain them to the bottom, just under the water, so you can't see them, and you don't know where they are, and you hit into one, and it's got massive explosives. They're heavy metal, and they can take down a ship. Old school mines, man. Funny, the design hasn't changed. You saw a lot of this back in World War One. People mining their harbors and stuff to keep people from attacking them. So this is old school warfare here. Thing is, once they're in position, they can stay there for a long time. So anyway, that came out, and oil jumped up $10 immediately. In fact, let's look at oil right now just for kicks. See what oil's at. For the NASDAQ, see where we're at. Then we'll take a look at oil. Up a little bit, I'm sure. 120 we saw on Wednesday. Yeah, NASDAQ yeah, nothing that got to go back a couple here on website, this Yahoo Finance. People here probably never heard of Yahoo Finance. I need to find a better. What's going on? Do I pass it? No. There we are. 85.64. So yeah, it was 88, 89. So it's come down a little bit. Still up 2.62%. So we got that 70 to 90 range. I don't know, 80 to 90 range we're kind of playing in. So that is what it is. Then I can showing they've got these ground these notes. We don't know how old this footage is. We don't and and there you see the bombs. We don't know if this is even real. We don't know if this is how old this is, but they're saying, hey, look, we've got all these boats. We got hundreds of these boats, and we can put them out there. So we'll see. Like I say, who knows if these tunnels are already even accessible, but I guarantee they're going to be, like I say, could just be propaganda. But anyway, nonetheless, came out today. Been news. But yesterday, the U.S. You can see these are these boats that were out there. You see, they're just little boats. Each of them have 4 or 5 of these mines. They go out there, place them. So yesterday, now to me, these things are sitting ducks. Strait of Hormuz is only like 33 across, right? Maybe 22 at its narrowest point. So I don't think, if these are being watched, I don't see that. I literally do not see that. I think these boats are going to be like sitting ducks. I don't think ever they placed till now. It's good propaganda, don't get me wrong. And it's definitely going to make people, even if there's 10 or 20 of these things set, wants to hit them on an oil tanker full of oil, right? So anyway, who knows? But I don't see them. I don't care how little a boat you are. If they're watching with radar, they can take them out with missiles, drones, Apache helicopters, anything. So I don't think it's going to be very, very far. It's effective. So that adding another layer of this. I mentioned talking about it, but now they're starting to. Fertilizer crisis emerging as predicted a week ago. Food security crisis will follow. Prediction the largest any crisis in Europe's history, driven by Ursula's previous strategic blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this is showing the share of global fertilizer components that come through the Straits of Hormuz, and this is serious. And, we have the same thing with Ukraine. So much of the fertilizer components come from Ukraine. 44% of the world's sulfur, 31% of urea, 18% of ammonia, and 15% of phosphates. So basically, we're getting into springtime, world starting to plant. And the new way we plant, in the old days, they would just compost old plants, horse manure, grass, a kind of a combination of greens like grass and things. It's kind of some like wood chips or trees or that kind of stuff, and then fertilizer. Those are kind of the way you make compost. You put them in a big pile, turn it around, and it gets like steaming in there. Breaks it down and gets worms, and worms feed on it. That's the old way it used to happen, right? If you're doing permaculture, if you're planting your own stuff, you can make your own fertilizer. That's the natural way to do it. But in modern, much more efficient, obviously, we use these different fertilizers, nitrogen and things like that, and these are all the components. So we're very much we have a different world. We don't have. It's why they say support your local farmers and stuff like that, buy local, all that stuff. But this is if you're doing that, great. But this is the world relies on these fertilizers, so. That's another element here. Trump, of course, came out talking extremely tough. You guys take those mines down. If you're putting out there, you're gonna feel the wrath like you never have. Basically, was his message. I don't know if they're listening or they care, but yeah, there's a lot more that can be brought onto our. President Erdogan saying this war must be stopped before it engulfs the region in flames. I mean, yeah, we don't want it. We don't want it here. It's slowing down our bags. And of course, people are dying, all kinds. There's a lot worse angles, but he's right there in that region. Doesn't like this and whatnot. Now, this Iran warns Google and other tech firms in the region could become legitimate targets. They support conflict. I don't know exactly what that means. I think they're just trying to, I don't know what do they want Google to censor stuff and stuff. They're already doing that. They're probably on board a lot of these mainstream media things with you. So interesting. I don't know what the real message is. I don't think I saved any slides, but I guess a bank was hit in Iran, and so now Iran's telling if you don't be close to any Israel or U.S. bank anywhere in the Middle East, it'll be a target. So who knows? But just a back and forth propaganda, a lot of it, or just social media war. There's a war being fought in social media. Now, Iran is exporting 11 million barrels of oil through the Straits of Hormuz since the war began, all bound for China. China gets most of their majority of their oil from Iran. Now, this could easily, U.S. could easily put a stop to this. They're probably not going to, because we're not at war with China. So they're probably not going to stop this, but they are still shipping a lot of oil. And of course, even if they have landmines and stuff, they'll know where they are. Theoretically, now the problem is, do they have proper communication, coordination, or if they're really mining, will some of their own boats get taken out just because poor communication? Right? That's part of what the U.S. and Israel want to degrade their communication and coordination effort. But we're only into it, day 14, something like that. Now, the IEA, which I think is the International Energy Association or something like that, they're proposing the largest strategic oil reserve release ever to calm the surging crude prices. So basically they want to take this. They want to take just this organization's been around, I don't know, 40, 50 years, and basically they have these reserves just for things like this. Buys them more time. That hurts Iran because they're just trying to survive. Their tactic is let's try and survive long enough for this to go away and still stay intact, still stay ruling this country, whatever. And meanwhile, it's just kind of a game of kind of a standoff point, right? Kind of a game of chicken. But this is one of the ways that can kind of ease the pressure, buy themselves more time. But man, a lot's happened in the week. Now back to crypto news. Ripple, if you're on TikTok or whatever, which you probably aren't if you're here, but man, they're crazy over there. They think XRP is 1,050,000. It's insane. For 1,000, like we say, Bitcoin is for 1 million, right? But anyway, they're here nor there. They did acquire BC Payments, an Australian firm, and now they secure a firm down a license in Australia. As crypto becomes more of a regulated, centralized game, at least part of it, these companies need to be legal to operate in those sectors of the world. There we go. Charting Wealth, my buddy, oftentimes speaker over on my longtime 4-year now GM Bitcoin morning show. Yeah, he's saying XRP to 2 million. Yeah, you say that on TikTok, people believe you. Hear it's pretty funny, but it's crazy. It's crazy. The other day we were joking. Those of you that know me for a while know that I'm a investor. Myself and the fund I run, we're a big investor in CoinZoom. CoinZoom's one of the 7 U.S. regulated exchanges. Not very well known, but we've got debit card. It's an exchange, but basically we're one of the biggest partners, or the biggest partner with Visa. We have a global debit card we can issue in 152 countries where you can spend your crypto. That's really what we're about. And we're still pretty well unknown, but we have this thing called CoinZoom where you can send, just like Cash App, and you can send cash or crypto free globally. So the other day, joking around, I sent Charting 1 XRP. He's like, you don't know, you just sent me $10,000. So it's been a joke, but so funny over there. Like I literally see these big accounts with, hundreds of thousands or millions of users talking about 1,000 XRP like it's programmed. Unfreaking believable. But I like XRP. I don't love it. I'm not loving it. I don't think it's the future. I think it's a blue chip. I think it's going to do well. XRP would be bigger. Gold. I'm running this over the thing, but he said something that had never happened for those of you that aren't really attention, and that is we've never hit an all-time high before the Bitcoin halving. We talk so much about the 4-year cycle. For 3 cycles, it worked almost flawlessly, but we hit an all-time high before the halving. That had never happened. Cycles usually stretch longer. He thinks this one may compress. This points to a possible bottom window in July, August. May fill and come by here. Last cycle, 22K felt the same. To me, and I've been here 15 years, to me, it really feels like when Bitcoin 2018, 19, when Bitcoin was in the 3,000 range, this is what it feels like to me. But a more closer reference would be the 2000, when it was 22,000 a couple of years ago, last cycle. But anyway, he's calling a bottom August. He makes it easy. He makes it easy to understand. Porter, who I don't know who he is, but he said yesterday should get Bitcoin $1 million to lawmakers. An all-time low, and these banks are going to come hard. The head of the bank said he thinks it's going to pass. It yesterday, the U.S. by what? So the U.S. is very much relying on this stable coin being pegged to the dollar, and those companies. Oh, charting says I'm rugging a bit. Interesting. Maybe I'm talking moving around my head too much. Is that? We'll see if that's any better. I'll talk a little closer into the microphone here. Probably need one of those things that has a microphone. That might be it. Let me know, charting, if it's any better. I'm a little closer to the mic here. Could also be I need a new. I upgraded to fiber optics, and I did upgrade my. Did not upgrade my my connector there. My what do you call it? That I connect to that sends it to me here. My router or whatever it is. So anyway, hopefully that's a little better. Picking up, yeah. Let me also shut down my. I don't know if this will help. I'll try and go get a new router today or tomorrow. Apologize for that. Yeah, I was moving my head around. Could also be my connection. Like I say, with the router, could also be that video. Sometimes it lags a little bit. So definitely not good. But, thanks for letting me know. I'll at least do what I can here. I bought a new cable for my speaker, trying to get that sorted out. But anyway, we'll wrap this up pretty quick. I'll listen back to it. But thank you, charting, for listening to it. If I'm Tom Lee says that we're going to go parallel and then so for term calling for short-term pump and then thinking we'll bottom, which goes in line with what happened, which what was being said by Merlin Trader. We'll see. He's down about 10 billion right now in his things. I don't know if you saw this. This was crazy. Look, the new leader, the new Ayatollah leg, and might even be in a coma. And anyway, they made this cardboard cutout for his inauguration or whatever. Unbelievable. Now he's saying you can't hear me at all. Look how I'm doing. Made this cardboard cutout inauguration. Now he's saying you can't hear me at all. Look how I'm doing. Yeah, I need to go get a new router today, so that sucks. So thanks for letting me know. It's a little better now. That pisses me off. Okay, well, definitely have my camera turned off. That router, maybe a new microphone. I think we'll get it figured out. See a connection. So I think it's the router. I'll get that sorted. Better as we wrap this up. Not a new microphone, but a new thing. That could be it. Super and Vlaro seen live on ESPN last night. See that? Greeted in Fear of 15. You know I like 30 days, by the way. Days bottom, or we've already bottomed out. Here, those far that probably create and launch a new bird coin stock for MicroStrategies. Michael, say earn 11%. You earn 11%, 11.5%. Anyways, been going crazy. He got on highest ever.